Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, oh, should I place my phone vertical or horizontal actually?
I think I don't know. That's a good question. I'm
Yes,
vertical.
you are vertical.
Yeah. No, that's a good question.
are,
I'm vertical.
are you able to make a horizontal?
Uh,
Matilda? Are you able to make
like this? Oh wait.
a... Is it okay for you?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Perfect.
Uh,
Oriental is like the rotate device back. Oh.
yeah. I did unlock it, so it should be fine. Do you see that note? You see that text on the screen?
Yes, orientation is locked, the rotated device.
But I unlocked it, so it should be good. I don't know why it does that. No.
Okay, so you try, huh?
Yeah,
So
I guess
funny.
I can't then. Well, I mean I can, but I don't know if the text will be always on.
The text.
On the
The
screen.
check. How can I make them? Hmm. Interesting. Okay, if I can make them like this. Okay, let's do like this.
Okay, good.
Perfect. It's okay. All right. Welcome, Matilda. Today we have special guest from she's right now in Bali, right? You are
Yeah.
still in Bali. Okay, so today is very powerful day. It's the 28th of February. It's a seven planet parade. And Matilda is a expert of numerology, right?
Yes, it's one of my deepest passions. Yes.
Would you like to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, so I'm Mathilde. I'm originally French. I'm currently living in Bali, and I guide people on their spiritual paths in their self-development along their journey of growth and reclaiming their inner lights, their power, their voice. Um, and right now, it feels really amazing to be able to connect. I'm curious to see what we get to talk about.
Okay. Well, we will go with flow. First, we welcome Jody is here and Shi Xin Noah. Told you. Hi, everybody. And so today we would like to talk about from lack to abundance. Have you ever felt that you settle less and then you attract something you never expect in your life? Do you have this kind of experience happen, Matilda?
When you settle for less and then you receive something better, is that what you're asking?
You receive something worse.
Yeah, of course. Of course. I notice in terms of, especially in terms of connections, actually, when you are in a lower frequency, in a lower state, and you put yourself out in public, I don't know, wherever you are, it's very interesting to notice the kind of people you attract and the kind of interactions you have versus when you know who you are, you have your boundaries in place, you know your values, you know your worth, and then when you show up into the world and what you attract afterwards, it's very different. I know for myself, like especially being in Bali, like I see that super fast because there's so many people that it's very easy to have that distinction. It's very different. The people you attract when you're in your frequency and in your heart aligned, focused on you, versus when you're in that lack, you're chasing something, you're needing something from outside of you, it's very different.
Okay. And
Yeah.
do you have any example that whether in your relationship or when you are in your career or in your, I know recently you have something manifestation successfully, I don't know, I remember I see something in your Instagram story. Would you like to share with us?
You mean my current life situation or like what
Yeah,
has happened?
you manifest something align with your
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah.
needs.
I mean, yes. So I basically, yeah, I received a huge job opportunity here in Bali, which
Oh,
is really
congratulations.
it's really the factor that made me stay because I obviously work online for my community. I host online gatherings and I do one-on-one sessions. I do that online. So that doesn't matter where I am in the world. Then I was beginning to do gatherings in Bali, which were also working well. And then the extra step for me was really receiving that contract that allows me to actually stay in Bali, which is it's very hard as an expat to live in Bali and to work. The visa situation is complex, it's expensive, it's lengthy, it's a whole process. So everything happened in the span of 1 week. I actually just released a podcast episode where I talk about this. If you guys want to actually learn, go more into the topic, because I explain how I was not at all seeking this. And again, it's the difference between chasing and receiving. When you're grounded in your energy, you're in your body, you have no expectation, you're not seeking anything, you're not chasing anything, you're not going outside of yourself. You're just in your present moment. I arrived in Bali. I knew what I wanted to experience, but I wasn't stressed. I wasn't um, scared. I wasn't in this lack mentality. I think for the first time I arrived in a place and I just, oh, I can arrive here and I can enjoy myself. And I think that's the biggest factor is when you can just be in your body, feel safe in your body, in your experience, enjoy yourself, who you are. Then it's like you're an open vessel for God to move through you. God, the universe, spirit, because then you receive. And I've never felt this moment so clearly ever before where I'm just receiving so much. I think before my default is more like I have to force things, I have to do things. It's very masculine, like toxic masculine energy, like I have to do so much to receive. But wow, like the month of February was just the contrary. Of course, there's action. Like I took an action, but what I received was 10 times more than my action versus
Wow.
when you're just trying and trying and trying, it's a lot of effort, and then what you receive is so little. And I think that's true, yeah, for a lot of things, even if going back to relationships, if you feel like you're always trying with someone but you don't receive it back, no, red flag, don't do it. Don't
Yeah.
continue.
Never
Um,
settle
yeah.
less.
Yeah, but again, it's not like you have to sit down and wait and like look at the sky. Like there's definitely an element of I take action, I choose this. Um, but it's also an element of I release and I have no expectation, literally like no expectation of what unfolds, what happens. It's just open. It's just opening. And I always say like you would be surprised. And I think sometimes we don't even know what we need. Because we
Mm.
receive what we need, right? We're always receiving
Yeah.
what we need. So, yeah, to keep it short, that's kind of
That's
that's
beautiful.
kind of
That's
the
really
unfolding.
beautiful. So what I hear is you first we need to focus on being, right? Not just doing, like
Yeah, yeah,
masculine energy. So first we need to be connected to our feminine energy, and then combine with action, massive actions, and then you
yeah,
balance them, and then you will manifest more in your life. You
yeah.
achieve more in your life.
That's definitely also one way to look at it is the feminine and masculine polarity. I definitely think it has to be an equal dance. But I think it's also the very first step is like being in your body and just feeling safe. The brain has to
Mhm.
feel safe. If you're stressed, if you're overthinking, if you're anxious, it's very hard to signal to God, to the universe, that you're okay. And it's really this element, this piece of like grounding into your body and feeling good, like just, ah, I can arrive. I can, that to me is the first step. And then you can look into the
Mhm.
feminine energetics, yes, and then
Mm.
into the masculine. And then it's just, it's a co creation from there. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So mental wealth is always the priority.
I think so. I think it's really hard to manifest when your mental health is just absent. It's
That's
I've been
true.
there personally. I have a past in mental health disorder, and so I know what I'm saying. I think it's just it's very hard. It's very hard to do anything when you're in victim mentality, when you're in lack, when you don't even want to live, when you are struggling with crippling anxiety, you can't breathe, your whole nervous system is always on fight or flight. It's really hard, really really hard. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. That's a beautiful sharing. So to keep your standard high, you will what will you? What's the benefits to keep your standard high?
Keep standard high. So, in regards to what?
Not in a perfectionism state. It's like you want this and you keep your standard high. You never lower your standard.
Right.
What's the
I,
benefits for that?
what is what the advice for that?
Benefits.
Benefits. Yeah, so definitely I think it's about knowing your worth. It's about having enough self-love for yourself and self-trust to go back to your values, like what do you want, what do you need? Um, and knowing that you're worthy of that. I know that it's our inherent birthright. Like whatever you desire, it's your inherent birthright. And the benefit is that you let go of things that are pulling you down, that are toxic to your energy, that don't fill you up. I've noticed a lot of connections that did not reciprocate what I was needing. I was giving so much, but I didn't feel like I was receiving. And that to me, it was a moment, for example, to say, okay, I have to release this connection because it's not coming back to me in the same way. Um, and it's trusting that I can have connections where I feel my cup is being filled. And so that's one example in relationships, but it can be in other areas where you have to know what you want, what you desire, what you need, and then believe that you can have that. If you believe that it's hard or that you're not worthy of it, you're not deserving of it, you're going to keep having those experiences that confirm that. And then you're going to really, your self worth is just going to go down. But it's trusting that, when you choose yourself, it doesn't mean you're going to be alone. Right. Because I think that's kind of the fear that we have when we set, like, this is my standard, is like, oh, all of a sudden I'm going to be alone. I'm not going to have anything around me. I'm going to be unsafe. I'm going to be, in a little hole in this universe. But it's not true. And it also, I think it's very interesting to look at maybe your past, like if there's anything from your childhood that kind of triggers that, because there's a reason why you're not where you fear to place a standard.
Yeah, this is a
And
subconscious
yeah, yeah. But I also,
yeah,
to go back
blockage.
to what was said like earlier, we have our standards, and then it's also like, so that's already one step of the journey, is placing your standard, and then above that is like God's standard, right? It's like, so once I know my self-worth, that's like already a big journey. Like raise your self-worth, and then it's like open it up to God, like show it to the universe, like open it up, expand it up, because our mind is so limited to what we think is possible. Like me being in Bali, no, it was not a plan. It was not even feasible. It was just, I don't even know. So raise your standard and then open it up for sure. And that's how I just want to say that's how you live more of a fulfilled life. Otherwise you just keep attracting experiences um,
Repeating
that's like
pattern.
sabotaging you. Yeah.
Yes. Self-sabotaging. Yeah,
Mhm.
correct. So, so in order to keep the standard high, how do you manage your emotions, like
Mm,
your energy levels? Because
yeah.
we are all human. We have this up and downs,
Yeah.
and how to maintain your energy to, higher, not a downward go downward spiral,
Yeah.
and then because our vibrational frequency is so
Yeah.
important, like a
Yeah.
magnet, right?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
to attract more abundance.
Yeah, I actually share a lot about this also on my Instagram, because that's something it's really fascinating to me, and my whole journey has been a lot about emotional regulation. Like, if I don't allow myself to feel my emotions, then there's not much that happens either. It goes back to the safety, feeling safe in your body, somatic practices like breath work, things that have bilateral movement. So, like walking, being in nature, things that stimulate the vagus nerve, just really relaxing the mind, being in your body. And then you feel your emotions. You teach yourself that it's safe to feel, because if you can
Right.
feel the sadness, the anger, the jealousy, the hate, the frustration, then you can feel the joy, the ecstasy, the bliss, the pleasure, right? But you have to feel both, otherwise it doesn't really work. And it's a scary thing because sometimes when we do feel the sadness, it's like, when will it stop? I know today for me personally, it's the new moon. I have been very emotional today, and it could also be my period coming up, but I allow myself to go there, and sometimes it's like, actually, I won't socialize, I won't go out for dinner, I won't even go to the beach and see these people. I need time for myself, and then I give it to myself, and once I've given it to myself, it's like, "Okay, now I can step out of it. I don't need to, like, dwell in it. I don't need to ruminate in it," which is why, for example, we're on this call, it's the evening for me. It's a choice that, okay, I've had my day, and now I move on. I've integrated, I move on. You have to give yourself the window, the space to feel, but then it's also knowing when to leave, like when to not, turn down in the spiral, because I'm very good at that as well. That becomes again self-sabotage, self-victimization, like life is happening to me, life is hard, no one likes me, I'm alone, blah blah blah, like whatever narrative you have. So um if you can give yourself those spaces to feel, then it's just energy moving inside of you. Really, that's all that it is, actually.
Yeah.
And some will stay longer if you need to actually extract a lesson, right? But it's definitely something that you have to feel, and then it's easier to work with manifestation energetics. But if you're not feeling, it's really hard because you're going to have things blocking you subconsciously.
Yeah.
It's just impossible.
That's the key, right? The feeling good is important, but
Mhm.
like what you said, not only feeling the positive energies, you also need to feel your sadness,
Yeah.
your fear, or your shameness, anything. You need to feel it in order to see it and to shift it, or
Mhm.
to make keep them uh, in the higher vibrational frequencies, right?
Mhm.
And I know, Matilda, you are an expert for meditation. I
Mhm.
see you also offer meditation sessions in your
Mhm.
membership space on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Mhm.
Would you like to guide us a little bit of your meditation?
Yeah, we can do a short meditation.
Or
So
okay.
I invite you
Yeah,
all to,
everybody.
yeah,
Right now we have 5 people online. We have Jody, Shixin, Angie. Let's check. It's okay. We are gonna do a little bit meditation, and then we come back, and
yeah,
then we will see everything. We can go with flow.
yeah. So I invite you all to find a comfortable seated position, making sure that the spine is long and straight. The knees are relaxed, the hips are open, the shoulders are rolled back, and softening the face, softening the jaw, softening the forehead. Allowing yourself to arrive in this present moment. We've talked a lot about grounding inside the body and somatic practices and just feeling safe within this human vessel. And the best way to do that is really to reconnect with the breath. So allow yourself to take note of your breath right now, allowing it to inflate your belly on the inhale. And on the exhale, noticing how the belly draws back in towards the spine. I'm just repeating this motion back and forth, inhale and exhale with the belly. Allowing the parasympathetic nervous system to activate and signaling to our brains that it is safe to be here, to arrive, to just breathe. There's nowhere to go or be but right here and right now. And if you'd like, you can count your breath, counting on the inhale, counting on the exhale. And see if with every breath you can extend your inhales and exhales, keeping it to the degree of your comfort. We never want to strain the breath or to make it stressful. And if you'd like, you may even visualize a spinning ball of white light inside your belly. This is not a chakra, but it's just an energetic activation. And this white ball grows with your breath on the inhale and exhale. And if you'd like, you can place an intention inside this sphere under this new moon in Pisces, which is a lot about surrender, letting go of control, and connecting with a higher force, something bigger than us, God, Spirit, the universe. So if there's anything that you have been struggling to release or to loosen your grip around, I invite you to place an intention of surrender, of relaxation inside this sphere. And when you have done so, allowing the sphere to move up and down your body, along your spine towards your head, top of the head, and back down the spine into the hips and the legs and the feet. Back up into the hips, belly, and chest. Spreading into the arms and the hands. And back down into the belly. Breathing again. Couple of breaths here inside the belly. Including anything else you'd like to say in this space and time under this new moon, as a devotion towards yourself and to a higher force. When you are ready, you can place your hands on top of your heart, give yourself a hug, and you have completed your sacred ritual.
Thank you, Matilda. It's
I have my
so
lights that
beautiful
turned off.
energy. You have yours?
My light just turned off, but yeah, it's all good.
Okay. Thank you so much for this new moon in Pisces
Mm-hmm.
meditation.
Yes.
Feel so peaceful. And we are so grateful for you. Thank you, Jody. That was lovely.
Mm.
Yeah. Thank you, Jody, for joining. Um, Matilda, I have a last question. Like, a lot of people, they don't know what may spiritual people or even non-spiritual people, they are talking about energy, but still a lot of people they question what is energy. Is there something, woo? Is there something scientific, or what? How do you define this energy?
Um, that's a very
Good
complex
question.
question. But to keep it simple, it is just the life force that binds this whole universe, um, to the point of the objects, in the space, to the bodies, to the humans, to the animals, to the species, the plants, the vegetation, the sky, the planets. It's what it's in life, but it's also in inanimate objects. It's what binds us all together. It's what
Mhm.
birthed this planet. It's energy.
It's
Um,
everything, right? Even
because
it's an
energy,
object
I
or
forgot who,
invisible.
yeah,
Mhm.
there's a law, that says energy cannot be created nor destroyed, right? So that's
Yes.
my perception. It's the interconnectedness of it all. It's like without energy, there's like in terms of physics, right? I'm talking about even physics. But then in terms of spirituality, yeah, then we look at the energetic bodies, the channels, the centers. We can see the energy moving. Um, but whether it's a spiritual or scientific approach, it's just the reality is that we live in an energetic world, dimension, reality, that binds this human experience and non-human experience if we go outside of our little planet. Um, Yes, it's a deep question that can be very analyzed. I've actually talked about it with other people. I think it was last
Really?
weekend, and we talked about it for a very long time. So it's definitely a
Oh.
heated debate. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that we can like talk deeper or further. But
Yeah.
thank you for
Yeah.
today. Your short sharing, joining, and we appreciate that. So today we mentioned about this energy, mental wealth, mental health is our mental wealth, right? So how to like test right now the level of our energy is in which level. I have a gift for people who are joining or who have watched this video. You can send me a message. I'm creating my landing page. It's not ready yet, so I would prefer that people, if you would like to join this test, you can send me a message on Instagram. Okay. And Matilda, would you like to share you are more active on Instagram or on YouTube?
On Instagram for sure. Yeah.
Instagram, right?
Um,
Yeah, you have so beautiful energy. I always get inspired by your
oh,
your
thank you.
story.
Thanks.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Even you might be also affected by this new moon energy, right? I also feel it actually 2 days ago when I was in Paris. I was so emotional and
Yeah.
I need to let it out.
Yeah, 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 and it's beyond us. It's just like you get sensitive to everything, and it's like why? So you just have to move through it, and it's I think non-judgment. You feel,
Yeah,
and
non-judgment. Yeah,
yeah,
that's true. Because when you let the energy out, you keep your authenticity, right? You don't pretend you are not. This is
yeah,
also something I think it's a process. I learned to release without feeling shame.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
for
I
sure.
think being authentic, being true to yourself, feeling good, feeling what you are, what you have right now is also the key to keep growing yourself.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
for sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Matilda, thank you for joining. Maybe we can talk for further next time.
Mhm.
And thank you. Enjoy your Bali trip. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for having me.
you. Thank
Let's stay in
you. Bye
touch.
bye. Yeah, keep in touch. Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys, I will just repeat again. If you want to have this emotional test, the level test, you can send me a private message on my Instagram. You can find my Instagram on my YouTube channel. There's somewhere on the corner. You just click in and then send me a DM. I will share with you this energy level test. Thank you for joining me and see you next time. I think next time would be maybe on 8th of March. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Jody. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in or watch later. Bye.